coming straight back to you, Stuart, and then Mark and Kieran, feel free just to jump in after it because there's not really many questions I can ask on this. But you mentioned it earlier, Stuart. Cerny done an interview today with the media. Very open, very honest. Good to see.
I thought it was really refreshing, actually. You know, these press conferences, these interviews that they give, very stale, kind of boring, you know, the same old questions, and then you get these kind of short answers. This was, I thought it was very human. You know, he was very honest about, and maybe sometimes we see footballers as a bit like robots and stuff like that, and rightly or wrongly, you know, we talked about Desser's reaction there. We can all have our faults with Cyril Dessers, but as a football player and a striker, I think a lot of what you've seen when he was on the bench last night was a disappointment that he hadn't got on the score sheet again, and a disappointment that, you know, his performance level probably wasn't what he wanted it to be. And I just thought it was really interesting from Cerny to get a bit of insight that this was a guy who was lying awake at night thinking about those missed opportunities. And, you know, yeah, great, I've got 3 goals, but actually I think it should be 6 goals. But, you know, I move on now. I need to get my head down and I want to try and help the team. I just thought it was, let's say, it showed the kind of human side of it, which I think sometimes is lacking. And I just thought it was a kind of really nice and genuine kind of press conference that just kind of let you inside a little to kind of, it's not easy. You know, if you've got 50,000 people on your back, that can't be a nice thing. And sometimes I think we maybe just think that they go up the road and whatever, and yeah, they're earning a lot of money. Who cares? I think he showed that he does care, and he's recognised that the last few weeks from his standards haven't been good enough, and hopefully that performance last night sees him kick on.
I mean, I'll ask another question then, because Kieran and Mark clearly are just going to jump in on this. But
I was going to say something, but I was waiting for Stuart to say. Do you think that Cerny, when he came here, maybe underestimated not just the Scottish League, but, for example, when we played Celtic, he looked completely lost. I don't know if that's maybe down to the tactics of the manager and maybe not understanding, but he just looked absolutely lost. It looks like he's kind of starting to find his rhythm. Yeah, he missed that huge chance against Leon, but I feel like that the 2 goals yesterday, I really think it just brightened him up. You could just see it was like that weight lifted off his shoulders that I've got this again, I can do this. And then he looked like he was trying more things with the ball. He looked like he wasn't waiting on Tav overlapping him all the time. He looked like he was actually going to run at players. Cerny before was just playing it far too safe. He looked like he had a bit between his teeth and wanted to actually go at the players and try and make something happen.
What I will say to that, Mark, just before you jump in, was that I was overly harsh on Cerny after that Old Firm game. What happened essentially was he froze. He pretty much froze, and none of the players round about him helped. It was his first Old Firm. There's been better players than him that have froze in their first Old Firm game, and it just totally overtook him. It overtook me because I was that angry that I was well over the top after. But I think on your point about the Old Firm, I don't know if he's clearly an emotional person. You've clearly seen that when he's had his shout at the fans, and then you've seen his interview today, and you've seen him come off the pitch and the manager grabbing him. He's clearly a very emotional person, Mark. And that Old Firm game, he had no support, and I think he's then struggled, to get back to any sort of semblance of form since.
You pretty much read my mind.
Is that as agreed again?
Kinda, nearly.
You've been drinking on that, Rick?
I wish I was. So, where I was going to go with kind of my comments regarding Cerny, and along the same lines as you, I think that the criticism of the boy has been harsh. Sometimes it embarrasses me that the way how easily somebody can fall from grace on our side, how easily people jump on their backs and give him grief and give him. This boy's just in a door. He's trying to find his feet in a new country, trying to understand what Scottish guys, what they're actually saying. So for me, I think it's harsh that how people just jump. I mean, the boy's had to delete his Instagram because he's getting that much grief. That's not on. How are you meant to sell this club to people, sell this fan base to people, bring players in when this is plastered all over the news and all over papers and bits and bobs and online about him having to delete his account because he's getting grief and this and that, and that's madness, absolute madness. I know I'm sometimes seen as the voice of reason, but come on, fuck, he's a break, man.
You're also seen as
I-
other stuff. You're also seen as other
No,
stuff, but we keep that quiet.
Listen, you're entitled to your opinion, and I'm all for calling people out for no doing well. 100%. If you're not trying and you're not doing well, then you should get called out on it. But to get to the stage where this guy's just literally just in a door of it, I don't even know how many games we've played this season so far. But MD got a number. I don't know.
5,
No
6?
many.
Uh,
No many. So all of a sudden he's went from it looks great, looks amazing, scoring goals to he's pure shite. Why is he playing? Blah blah blah. He's this, he's that. I mean, even in our group chat was the team went up and these were all giving him dogs abuse. And
7 games in the league.
there you are. So as I said, these were all giving him dogs abuse. Well, why is he starting? He should never start. Blah blah blah. The position we are at the moment.
No, wait a minute. Hold on, Mark. I think it was fair to call out that he wasn't in form and that maybe he shouldn't start. That's not jumping on Instagram and saying and giving him abuse. 100% that's wrong.
100%. Like I said to you at the start when I said my point, I understand. We call people out for no, but nobody's went like that. He's off form a wee bit. Blah blah blah. They've all went. He's bish. He's this. He's that. Should he be starting? But the player where we're at the moment is who else is starting? Who else have we got that's creative, that's a winger, that's got pace? Realistically. So as it stands, that game yesterday, we would rather no start a winger and start somebody, just randomly stick somebody in there that's right wing because you've not got a left winger because McCausland's playing on the left, and you can't put Barami in the left because Lawrence is injured. So you've not got another 10 to play. So, but still, we're talking in group chats and talking in forums and talking about we kind of Clermont, we're haranguing Clermont because he started him and Tavernier, but especially him, nobody else. And the wee guy comes on, plays a blinder, bump, and I put in the comments, didn't I? He's pure pish, isn't he?
Well, I don't want to open up the old argument. I really don't want. Stuart, you can come in 2 seconds. I don't want to open up the old argument, but when somebody's off form and you might not have a first team player to replace them, where do you go next?
Well, I agree with you 100%. What's going on tonight, man? What's happening? Why are we agreeing? What is going on? 100% agree with you. You start youth and you give youth a chance. If that is the case, yes.
Because a 19-year-old destroyed us on Thursday. Destroyed us. Sorry, Stuart.
Next level, but that 19-year-old, wasn't he? I mean,
but how are we ever going to get young players to go to the next level if we don't play them?
100% agree with you. But how much did they pay for that 19-year-old?
I've got no idea.
A lot.
100% sure it was a couple of £100.
How much did, and I know this is different level, but I don't care because it's a young player. How much did Barcelona pay for Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Gavi? The list is endless because they play these young boys. I'm not saying we've got somebody at the youth that's going to come through and be as good as that, right? But you might have somebody that comes through and is good enough to get into the first team, but we never give them a chance. Sorry, Stuart, I went off on a tangent.
I just wanted to say the second goal I think could be really important for Cerny in terms of I think he was at a risk of he appeared to be a bit one-dimensional. You know, it was always cutting inside. Now he's maybe just going to give full-backs and that something to think about. in terms of the fact that he went outside there and managed to get the goal. I think that hopefully that's a sign that he can mix it up. Also think it's quite important at times that if we get the ball to him, that having that, don't crowd him. Leave him alone, give him some space. At times, take a defender away somewhere else rather than, something I think we make it too easy for our players. We'll just give them an easy option of this pass. I thought that last night there was times where we gave him the ball and just let him go on with it. He's clearly got ability. Clement clearly likes him as a player. That's why he started. And, I think it was one that somebody mentioned in the comments. He ran straight to Clement, after that first goal. So there's clearly a kind of relationship there. And I think they've talked about the fact that there was some discussions after some of the recent games. So good to see that he's just mixing it up. It was like a pity again that we now just go into an international break. It's almost like you want a domestic fixture to be right round the corner now so that he can get another go at it. I thought he did a really good game, and fair play to him, by the way, because the pressure was on him a wee bit. So good to see that he's came through that, and hopefully that's it. He kicks on.